Welcome back to part 2 of Storytime.
Woo! We're here. Storytime.
Part 2.
This is Matt.
This is Jude.
And Jeremiah.
And we tell stories about cock. No.
Cock, pussy.
Cockapussy. The
It's
legend of the cockapussy. Oh, could you imagine?
That'd be quite
That
a
sounds like an
story.
animal. And if so, I guess we're going to have to kill it.
Or fuck it.
Or fuck it, dude. Yeah, or let it fuck us. I mean, it's got a cock and a pussy.
We'll fuck it, it'll fuck us, then we'll let it suck us, and then we'll suck on it.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna get
It's
all
just
the
a cycle
bases.
of life.
Fucks and sucks all around people.
That kind of sounds like a really nice children's book.
Yeah.
The Cockapussy. The story of the Cockapussy.
Yeah.
An outcast.
Maybe since it's a cockapussy, it can fuck itself. Like,
Yeah. Oh wait, so
It is a
it
cockapussy.
can use its cock to fuck its pussy.
Jesus.
I mean,
Cockapussy.
it would all depend on the anatomy of the cockapussy. Yeah, I'm imagining more of a dinosaur type animal,
Yeah.
like a very large, feathery, not
Yeah,
scaly.
it's got feathers, yeah. For
I feel like
sure.
it'd have gills too.
It could probably go underwater. It's probably amphibious,
Yeah.
Definitely amphibious.
but also it's got to have wings. Like if this is a
Gills.
fictional gills and wings.
Gills and wings.
Wiggle.
That's a
Little
weird
slits.
combination.
Little slits.
Yeah, where you could probably get off in the
Oh,
streets
where-
too.
Where you can breathe and fuck.
Yeah. you could
So wait,
have a
how many
kink.
slits will it have? Like, how many things can we
All right,
insert into this cockapussy?
Yeah, let's get off the cockapussy shit. Let's
we
talk
did.
about
We
it.
did have. Yes, we had a reason to tell stories, not fictional ones about legendary cockapussies, but actual stories that happened to us.
Yes.
I can start one real
Go
quick.
for it.
Go for
What
it.
you got?
Not much of a story, really, but it's about the time I took on a gang of hooligans.
Oh shit.
That's
You wanna
right.
fight?
So basically, me and my brother were pretty big fucking nerds, but nerds in different avenues. Not like the traditional nerds who's into like D&D and all that. We were
D&D.
one of the things we were really into was fucking kung fu movies,
Yes.
and we like to fancy ourselves like pretty good kung fu masters. Not really. I mean, we didn't. One time we finished watching a Jet Li movie and. We were so pumped, and we were like went into this like brandly new addition to our parents' house that was built. Like it was fresh. Like the contractors had left like that day, and we started swinging around a broom we found like it was a fucking bow staff. And my brother's like, yeah, doing his whole routine, and the end of the broom shoots off and crashes right through a new plate glass window, a door, the window of a door, and it just shatters. And he has a like deer in headlight look, like, oh no! And I just bust out laughing because I didn't do it, so I was like, I felt all right. Like I'm not gonna get in trouble for this at all. I didn't fucking swing a broom around. So it shattered, but you know what happened was he got lucky, and that it was double panel, and only one panel broke. So we cleaned up the mess from that all one panel. We knocked out the excess glass out. So it was just one panel, and we never told our parents until like years later because we thought it was funny. And we were like, "Hey man, guess what, y'all? You don't even know we fucked y'all's window up." And we would walk over there and show them because you could see if you got real close and you looked inside like the edges that you could see there used to be a panel there. And they weren't as amused as we were. But that's like the prologue to the other part of the story, which was like it was another one of these times when we went out the front yard doing kung fu sit. I had a long like axe handle that without the axe part it had fallen off or something, so it was swinging like a little sword or something. And we were out there fucking around like in the front yard, and all of a sudden this fucking like little SUV starts creeping down the street, and I'm like, that's weird. Whatever. Keep on swinging. I'm Jet Li, you're Bruce Lee, let's fucking fight, bitch. And this SUV starts to drive by us, and then all of a sudden, like pop, 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 they're shooting like BB guns at us from like the window,
fuck?
like a lot of them, like it was like automatic.
What?
And I was like, oh fuck, and they go off, and I was like, what the fuck, bunch of fucking assholes, man. And I'm trying to do my kung fu routine, motherfucker.
Get in the way of this.
And so, but then a few minutes pass, and they're coming around again on the street. I see him from ahead, and I'm like, yo, I ain't backing down for shit. I get close to the road. I stand there and I'm just watching them. And sure enough, they drive by and start shooting again. And they pass me up. And they're all, I couldn't tell who they were. They're passing me. And I have a fucking axe handle in my hand. So as they pass me up, I throw with all my might, like this big ass heavy axe handle. It's like from 30 yards out, it's spinning. It's like going real fast. Boom! Hits him right in the tail light. It shatters everywhere.
Yes! Oh my god!
Immediately, like as brave and as cool as that was, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I ran back inside because I didn't even know who it was or what.
They deserve that shit,
yeah,
dude.
fuck
them. You're
But
random people.
they come in reverse, and like me and my brother are looking out the window, and then I realized, oh shit, I know these people. These are just kids I know from school fucking with us. And went out there and I was like, oh shit. And it ended up being some kid, and he had borrowed his mom's car. So he's freaking out, going, oh, my mom's car, look what you did. I was like, well, you should have shot my bitch ass, motherfucker. I was like standing my ground, like, I'm sorry about the tail light, but I ain't fucking doing nothing for you. I ain't giving you money for that. Shouldn't be you going around shooting people. I should call the police if I wanted, you motherfucker. So yeah, that was the day I stood down a gang of hooligans.
That was
good. That was good.
Good shit. Fucking standing down hooligans.
I have a similar, not similar, but I have a one where me and my friends were acting like hooligans.
Oh, so you were the hooligans in this?
Well, we weren't really like hurting people. We were just startling people.
Oh, okay.
I guess you could say. So we used to go to the movie theater a lot, and we'd hotbox the parking lot. And
nice. Hotbox, 420, blaze it.
We'd go in the movie, we'd see our movie and shit. And one night we'd do this.
Not a bong.
It's not a bong. We would do this pretty much every week. Once a week, probably Friday night. We'd go. It was during high school, and one night when we were leaving, we saw these group of kids that we went to school with, and they didn't see us. So we all hopped in my car, and at this time we were hanging out with one of my friends. He was a little younger than us, but he had such a deep voice. He had a deep voice like Barry White, and this kid, like at the time, like I was young too. He was probably 15 at the time, and I was like probably 17 or something. And he was the biggest troll to this day that I've ever known. And he would always just fuck with people with his deep-ass voice. And, if it was video games, whatever, he'd troll them. Real life, he's just a big fucking troll. And so I'm like, hey, yell at them. We know them. Yell at them while we're driving by. And so we're, like, creeping by in my car. And he, like, leans out the back window and he goes, there's a rapist on the loose! There's a rapist on the loose! And it's me! And, like, they're all looking like, what the fuck? And, like, I'm laughing so hard, I accidentally, like, jumped my car onto the curb of the movie theater, just the right side of it, though. And I'm like, oh, shit! And, I drive it back onto the street. I'm like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We just take off. And, it's pretty funny because they had two things that happened to us that night. After that, we were still being kind of hooligans. It was like the end of the night, and we were back in with our other friends we were with. We were in their neighborhood. And we knew this other guy that we played video games at the time with a lot. And he lived right down the street from one of my friends. So on the way to drop one of my friends off, we stopped at his house. And it was probably like 12, all right? And this is like a Friday night maybe. And we tell one of my friends he should be the one to go ding dong ditch. So he goes to the door to Ding Dong Ditch, and while he's going to the door, we're like, we should just leave him. So he rings the doorbell, and as he's walking back to the car, we take off. And we drive away, and we see him, and he's like, what the fuck do I do? And he starts to run, and then he stops, and he thinks about it, and he doesn't know where to go. So he, like, jets over a couple houses down and tries to hide in their bush. But, like, right as he, like, during the time that he was taking to run and, like, figure out where he was going to go, they saw him through the window. Oh, so no. My friend's mom and dad both come out, and they, like, find him hiding in this bush. And we didn't see all of this going down. But, like, when we come back to try to pick him up to see where he's at, our friend's dad is out there lecturing him and, like, just, like, telling him, like, you shouldn't be doing this. I should call the cops on you. You know, blah, blah, blah. And we pull up, and he's like, what do y'all want? And we're like, him? And he's like, no. I'm talking to him. So we're like, we don't know what to do.
Sorry, dude.
So we kind of pulled off again.
Yeah.
And like 5 minutes later, we're coming back around and we see him walking down the street, and he is just fuming, and he is so pissed off at us. And he's like, why didn't y'all just open the door the first time, and I would have jumped in the car or something. And
Man,
he didn't, and he was mad. He was mad for a little while. I think he's over it now, but because that was so long
Better
ago.
be.
Y'all fucked that dude up.
You leave no man behind.
Dude,
Is not
we were
a
being
vocabulary.
assholes that night, I guess.
Those are many words.
We were being assholes.
Everybody does things like that when they're in their formative teenage years. Maybe not everyone, but I
It was hilarious, though.
I haven't ding-dong ditched
That was a good night.
a lot, though, in my time. Or TP'd.
I've done ding-dong ditching. I've never TP'd, but I've ding-dong ditched a couple times.
Same.
Where I'm from, there's a tradition where like it's like high school seniors once a year from like several schools in the county. It's like free reign. They're like allowed to TP houses, and the cops don't really care, and like the town just lets it happen. And so like there's like rivalries and stuff, and like, but one time I think I had just got out of high school, but I happened to be at home at my parents' house, and my brother was still in high school, and he expected that we were gonna get rolled because he knew people who were going. That's what they would call it.
No, that makes sense. Get rolled. Yeah.
Get rolled because
I at first thought of Molly, but then I'm like, we're talking about
yeah.
So yeah, rolling it.
And so me and my cousin are like, oh shit, dude. You know what? Let's defend this fucking house. This is our domicile. This is our fortress.
Fuck yes.
Nobody can come over here and roll our shit, even though it's not really has anything to do with me, and I probably wouldn't have to pick it up. But so what we did was we hid in my dad's bed of his truck, ducked down with fully loaded paintball guns.
Yes. Oh my god. I fantasized about this.
And these weren't joking around. These paintball guns. These were like legit, and they were like high velocity or whatever. And we just wait. We waited a decent amount, but we were pretty positive that we were going to get hit. And sure enough, a van full of kids like come over, and they're sneaking. They're real quiet. They get up on my driveway. We were like 10 feet away from it. And we're like, all right, now. We get up. Shooting like tons of them. They all scatter. They all run in different directions like, away. Well, and It was like a fucking bloodbath, dude. My God. We just took out so many, like some of them were like almost point blank. That's how close they were. Like we were just unloading on them.
You had to wait for them to get close to you.
Yeah. But we ended up getting pretty outsmarted that night because we thought it was over, or we stood guard in the front, and little do we know, this pack of girls snuck into our backyard and rolled our backyard, which nobody does the backyard. Like, it's all front yards.
Way.
And
No, you didn't have anybody in the back.
we had nobody watching the back.
You should have got walkie-talkies and had your brother in the front.
Gotta
and
watch
back.
your flank.
Oh,
and
dude, that's fucking hilarious.
We got outsmarted there.
That's.
I did hear the next day. My brother described the welts and the just like giant open blisters that people had from the paintball guns. Like there was a few kids who like had them all over themselves. Like,
Oh man.
we effed them up.
Holy shit!
Did they know it was you guys?
No, they didn't know us. They didn't even know who we were because it was my brother's friends. Like they didn't even know me. And it's just
That's fucking great.
You guys just got him.
I'm just gonna resist the opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll tell a story. Let's see here. This one's kind of fun. I was in high school. I did speech and debate. I'm not going to really explain what that is because the story has nothing to do with the actual activity. But we were traveling. We were in, I want to say Minnesota. Someplace cold. I can't remember the exact place, but it was snowing and there was ice in a lot of places. And so we get to the hotel. And this hotel is one of those hotels where, like, there's a steak knife attached to the hotel, and it kind of juts out from the rest, like, because it's like an 8-story hotel, but it kind of juts out because it's only 1 story. Well, we stayed on the 2nd floor, and our window was next to the steak knife roof, and somehow, normally hotel windows don't open, but the room we had, the fucking window could open. And I remember because it was everybody was coming to our room to come see this because everybody else's window was locked. We could get out onto the roof of the steak knife, and we were sliding around because it was frozen. There was ice on the roof, and we were just sliding around having a great time on the roof. And a few times, some of us fell, and it's a huge thud.
Not off the roof.
Not off the roof, no, not off the roof. But you'd slip on the ice, and you'd eat it. And a few people did that, like me and my friend Scott, and, makes a loud thud. And so, as we're having fun, it's been like 30 minutes since we've been out here. You can see the windows that are part of a hallway leading to the rooms on our floor, like on the roof. And we see one of the workers, one of the employees, looked like a manager, he's in a suit, walk past, and the dude did like a double take on us. He walked past, came back, looked at us, and fucking kept walking, and he eventually came out, made his way, knocked on our door, because I'm guessing he knew the fucking window that wasn't fucking locked for some dumb fucking reason, and gave us a huge lecture, and we were scared. The lecture for the guy didn't give a fuck, because we didn't give a fuck about this guy. He's a hotel manager. We don't give a shit. But we were scared that he was going to find out and tell our coach. And we were very scared of our coach yelling and screaming at us. And so, this is a very large man, very smart, but also very big and intimidating man. And you did not want him yelling at you. But he was, the hotel manager couldn't fucking find out the room of our coach, because we always stayed in separate rooms. And, no fucking way we didn't get caught. It was great. And we still had a great time up there. So fuck that hotel manager. I remember. I totally left this out. I remember why he came up. The funny part of the lecture. He came up because he was like, we've had reports of people dying in the steak knife of thuds coming from the roof of the restaurant. And so he was sent to investigate. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, he mentioned that in the lecture, and we thought that was hilarious. So it was fun. We ruined some people's steak dinners that night, but I'm so for it because that was a good time we had up there on that roof. The next one I've got about airsoft guns and not having orange tips. This starts at my house in New Orleans. Across the street from my house it used to be like a fort. It's on Avenue. I think you've seen it before if you've delivered there. It's got like some brick, complexes, stairs and shit. And there's it used to be like an old fort. But we thought it was great to play airsoft in. It had a lot of trees. It had like, structures that you could hide behind and shit. Tiny stuff, but it was brick, so it was cool. And we got 6 of our friends who went out there. And I had just left my house with a guy on my team named Doug. And by the way, we're fully decked out. We're like, airsoft isn't like paintball. Like, airsoft is like military sim. So like, you're wearing the vest, the knee pads, the boots. You've got your fucking M4. We had sidearms. I had mine in my vest. We're looking like straight fucking, military motherfuckers. It's great. And that's what you want it to feel like, because that's the whole point of it. But we removed the orange tips from our guns to be more realistic, or we would spray paint them. And it is dumb. But most of the time,
you're out in the public though, right?
Well, yes and no. It was nighttime.
It was nighttime,
and we were like, it's almost like a mini park, like this levee, like across the way. We leave the house after I put this little sight on my gun. My friend Doug and I are walking on the levee, and we assume that somebody had called the police already because a squad car comes rolling down the street that's across from where we're playing, and we're walking on top of the levee, so we have a good perspective of the whole playing field and the street that my house is across from. But he's rolling up with the spotlight, and he's got the spotlight scanning the fucking trees, and he eventually gets close enough and fucking points that fucker right on us. And we're like, well, fuck, I guess this is the end of the game. This is the end of the night. Little did they know, the 2 of us are walking back, but the other 4 are hiding, waiting for us to get back to start the game. And so they're watching this
all go down from like, you know, a fucking eagle eyes view far away on this little perch. They're all laid down behind this little tiny, you know, brick ledge that they're peeking over. And they're watching these squad cars. The first one rolls up, the second one rolls up. 3 eventually get there all together. And me and Doug go down. We call this guy Air Force Cop. The first cop that went up, we call him, nicknamed him Air Force Cop, because he commented on, first off, how if you're not in the military, you can't wear military BDUs or camo, which is not true. Not a thing. They sell those things in Army surpluses for a reason. Granted, mine were legitimately U.S. Marine issued because my uncle's Marine and he gave them to me.
If it was a legit uniform, I don't think you could.
But this is what he was trying to say. He was saying they were out of season. Normally, I'm going to get this wrong, but Marines in like the summer seasons wear the desert marpat, and in the cooler seasons wear the woodland marpat. And that is true. It does change depending on what season it is, not necessarily where they are. But he was trying to say that those were out of season or some yada yada, or were in yada yada yada. None of it was making sense. The whole time he's lighting up a cigarette and blowing it in our faces and telling us that discharging an airsoft weapon classified as like an unruly discharge, yada yada yada. But I looked it up and it has to be gunpowder. There was no gunpowder in an airsoft gun to have like, you know, a discharge or whatever the fuck he was trying to pay. He was just trying to scare us. Is really what it was. To wrap up the story, the 4 friends that were hiding saw this go down and saw these officers talking to us, and eventually were like, well, fuck, if they find us up here, that's going to be a whole lot worse than if we just walk up right now. And so my brother convinced them all to go and walk up and join Doug and I getting
I would have just been like, well, it sucks for them.
Yeah, I was surprised. I kind of wanted them to.
I
kind of wanted them to just hang up there and be like, see it all go down. I mean, I wouldn't have said there was anybody else, because it's me and this guy.
And if you would have snitched on us, I'd have blown your brains out.
With airsoft gun. Which I get. I would respect that, man. That'd be an okay way to die.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, I guess we can shift the story over to you if you have, or a little snippet, a little sound bite. Little sound bite. Take a bite of the sound. We're gonna take you to town. Da, 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 ba, ba.
Soundbite.
Bite the sound.
Yeah, so, okay. I used to, when I was 8 years old, 8, 9 or something like that, like pretty young, my brother and my cousins got the brilliant idea to,
That's not a bomb!
flood my kitchen so we could do slip and slide in it. Like, we literally, we stood by the sink, filling up pitchers of water for like 30 minutes, constantly throwing them on the kitchen floor to create our own slip and slide. My dad was in the whole time working on a fence in the backyard this whole day.
No.
So he had no clue. And like we literally flooded the kitchen and we were just having a ball running and sliding across the entire kitchen, like on our bellies. Yeah.
What kind of floor was it?
It was a tile. It was like smooth tile floor.
Oh my god!
And it worked. Like we were able to like do some fun little sliding, you know.
Dude,
what happened in some skids, bro? You slide today yet, bro?
Yeah. So my parents, at some point during it, or actually before we started, my brother always claims that he went outside to my dad while he was working on the fence and said, hey, can we put water in the kitchen so we can slip and slide? And my dad would be like, was busy, so he's like, yeah, whatever. Not really paying attention to what he said. So we thought... We
Two thumbs up! Good to go!
Yeah. So we thought we had permission to do this. So the whole time we were just like, not thinking of any consequences. Just like, yeah, having a ball, flipping and sliding. Yeah. And then, of course, we got in fucking huge trouble. And I remember the next day, my dad says, come here, boy, come see this.
Uh-oh.
He takes me out to the garage, which is connected to the kitchen, like right there. And he says, look at that wall. Look what you did. And you could see tons of water damage coming through the fucking kitchen into the garage, like the wall.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, oh, sorry.
Oh no!
But it was pretty bad.
That's crazy. Can we flood the kitchen and make a slip slide? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, just shut up and leave me alone.
Well, I have one.
Jeremiah.
I have one.
Crawfish pie.
I was in this group for a church we were going to. It was like called the Royal Rangers.
Was it a CYO group?
What's that?
Christian Youth Organization, something like that?
It might have been. I don't know. It was like this church we were going to off of Airline, and I was younger, and it was called the Royal. I'm pretty sure it was called the Royal Rangers. I want to say that's what it was called.
That's a fucking cool name for
That
a
is
church group.
Dude, it was all guys, and like we'd do like sometimes you'd go camping. Like every year there was something new. Like one year we went camping, and like this
Christian
year
Boy Scouts?
it was kind of like Christian Boy Scouts,
Dope.
yeah. So, kind of pretty similar to Christian Boy Scouts.
Weed. Yeah.
And they had this year was like these box cars. We were racing these little box cars that you make out of like the wood block, and you put the weights on them.
I love that.
And you
shit,
race them
dude.
down the
Love that shit.
the little
fucking
track,
slope, dude,
yeah.
track,
And you
got
try to beat
times
all
and
the other
everything,
kids.
dude.
You
It's
try to
so
beat all the
fucking
other kids,
dude. Thank you for reminding me of that.
dude. So like it was awesome, and
I think I still have.
me and
a
one
few
of
cars.
the kids that were growing up in the neighborhood were both in it, and we wanted to do this, so we got the box cars, and my dad took the time and he like whittled them down and made like a pretty badass car.
Yes.
And he made the other kid a pretty cool car, but my car was just so fucking cool. It was like, it looked like a Cobra, like how a Cobra has that like circle in the front and everything, like
Of its face?
yeah, like the no, like the Cobra car, the
Mustang.
not the Mustang, the actual, like, I'm pretty sure it's just called Cobra. Shelby Cobra.
Yeah, I mean, the chassis is a Mustang.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Cool cars. They're great cars. My uncle has one.
well, he had whittled
GT500.
it down and, got it like a slender body almost. And, like, it looked
Damn,
like
if he made
it looked
it
like
look
a Shelby Cobra.
Fuck, dog.
But when we
That's
got to
sick.
the event and everything and we put the cars on the track, mine wouldn't fit on the track because he
Dude,
whittled
why?
it down so much. It was too slender.
Oh,
and
what?
the tires, it wouldn't like sit on the track right. It wouldn't go. And like it was like, I have this cool car and I can't even use it.
Oh.
So they're like, oh well, if you can't go down the track, they gave me the block that you start the
way.
whittling with. I had just a straight square block
Wheels.
with weights on it.
Oh, yes.
The weights were on the top. It was just a square block. And it had so much weight to it that I won because it was just a fucking block with the weights. So I fucking won with just a square starting block. And I was like,
Underdog.
that's what's up. So I got like this little toy truck that was didn't they have a tire shop or something called NASA a long time ago?
NASA
No,
is
sir. I'm
space.
sorry. NASA is the
Not NASA,
national-
the space organization. I'm pretty sure I could have swore they had like a truck company or something called NASA.
Napa.
Napa. Maybe it was Napa.
Yeah.
It could have been Napa.
Valley?
I don't know.
No, Napa,
But-
like the Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's blue and yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I got this like truck for winning with the block. I got like just this
So
truck
were
with
the other
a,
kids pissed?
probably.
I'd be pissed.
I'd be pissed if the guy with
Fucking
the block just
block
won.
car beat me.
I'd be
Fuck!
like, Daddy, why is this fucking asshole being?
But it was
Yes,
awesome.
the
It came with a
block
little
car.
back part, and I put both the cars in the back part. I had the block car and then the car that was actually supposed to go the first time.
So you still had the dope Cobra, dope Mustang Shelby Cobra?
No,
blah, blah, blah.
I lost that long ago.
Oh.
I wish I still had that. That'd be a good
Well, at
memory.
the time, I mean, like you got your brick car and then you got the.
Yeah, I got the brick car and the Shelby Cobra, and they both fit in the
Damn.
back of the truck that I won with the block car.
Oh, fucking right. It
It
was
was
like
it was like a semi truck, and they had like a little like shutter in the back that you could pull up, and they had
It's
inside.
a nice grand prize.
Yeah, dude. And I put both the cars in there and shit. Even the block car.
You make me
The
wanna
block
go
car was
play
my
with some
winner, dude.
boys.
The block car race car.
Hey,
Shelby Cobra Daily.
Oh, hey, man. What's up, dude? Hey.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's that question, dude?
What's the
Have y'all ever tried to light your fart on fire or a friend's
Oh
fart?
my
Yes.
god, never. I've actually never tried to do
It
that.
didn't work the time we tried.
Really? Dude, it works.
I know. I mean,
what were
yeah,
y'all wearing?
obviously.
Jeans? You gotta strip down to your underwear.
It was
at least.
athletic shorts.
Okay.
So we were
God,
not. We
some
were not doing
weak-ass
it right.
farts,
We
Tom.
were- It was weak. dude.
I've never tried to light a fart. I can
So
honestly say
we used to do it sometimes. It was fun. So if you can imagine, my friend gets in this position, and it's like he's on his back, but he's rolled forward with his you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that position.
So his ass is like kind
Put
of
up a picture.
is in the air, and I come over like close with a match close to his ass. Because, you know, I gotta be ready. He's like, yo, I gotta fart. Hurry up. I'm like, oh shit. Because this is what we do. We light our farts. And so I get close and I light the match. This is so stupid. But I light the match, and it lights. But as I light it, it breaks in half. And so... And so this lit half of the match goes flying and lands directly on his ass. No. And almost immediately it starts burning him, and he goes, oh! And he starts freaking out, but he also starts farting at the same time. So he's freaking out, jumping up and flinging his body up in there while he's farting, while he's on fire, basically. And, you know, the whole time, of course, I'm just bawling and laughing. Not helping out, not helping the situation, just cracking up.
We used to have sleepovers at my friend's house a lot, and we would just like stay up all night playing like LAN parties. Like that was the big thing. We'd always LAN party all night, and so like
LAN party all night.
I'm sleeping on his couch because like it was like a party that night, and we had like a lot of people. Sometimes it was just me, him, and another dude. We just chill all night, play LAN party. But I'm sleeping on his couch, and I tend to sleep if I sleep in an upright position. I'll sleep with my mouth open, and I'll just be like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And they had you know those big things of cheese balls you get from like Sam's or something.
Oh, the fucking huge ones.
They had one of those, and I'm just sitting there sleeping. And, like, I can, like, you ever got fucked with while you sleep and you can kind of hear them laughing, but you're not awake yet, so, like, you're not, like, you think it's almost a dream, but you can hear them laughing and fucking with you.
Like, comes through.
Yeah, it kind of comes through, and then, like, when they fuck with you enough, you wake up and you're actually, like, you're coherent that they're fucking with you, and you're like, oh, man, they're fucking me while I'm trying to sleep, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing ever worked on me because I was such a light sleeper when I was younger.
I'm the opposite. I'm a heavy sleeper, so, like, I'm half asleep. And my friend's dad is awake with my friend, and my friend's dad is putting cheese balls in my mouth while I'm fucking sleeping.
Yes.
And like I wake up and I got a mouthful of cheese balls. And I'm like, fuck it, and I just start eating them. I'm like, a mouthful of cheese balls, and they're just cracking up laughing. And I'm just eating the cheese balls, and I just go right back to sleep.
Thank you for my midnight snack.
I will eat this and go back to bed.
Yeah, that actually reminded me of a story, actually. This is like Christmas Eve at like the midnight mass at church. This is a huge church with like a huge congregation. Not a bong. And my brother falls asleep. And he falls asleep with his head laid back on like the pew, and his mouth is wide open. And so my cousins were like, oh yeah, let's fuck with him. Our whole family's here. And so they start to taking the little pencils, the Bible, little Bible pencils, like you know how they have. They're like half
the little pencils in the Catholic churches. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They
started getting a bunch of them and seeing how many they could stick in his mouth.
Oh my god!
In the middle of church, and I shit you not, it was like 8-10 pencils. So he's just sitting, laying back with his mouth wide open, with a fuck ton of pencils just like sticking out in the middle of the church. I remember my uncle getting mad when he noticed it. He's like, "What are y'all doing? You can't do that." But like, I thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
I wonder if like the priest saw it and it was just like, motherfucker.
Dude, this was like this is like a huge church. This was like hundreds of people.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, like just sitting in this church. You know, everybody's listening to this one, you know, preacher preach or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about the time I went hunting for the first time. but it also happened to be the same time that I had shaved my pubic hair as a young adult. And as we all know.
You shaved that, bro?
Why'd you do it though? What made you want to do that?
Shave my pubes?
Yeah.
I was coerced.
You were coerced into shaving.
Not coerced, but
you were held at knife point. You better shave them fucking. shave those fucking pubes, boy. I got a weird fetish, and I need my fix.
I need to watch you shave your pubes.
Okay, so it wasn't much like that at all. I'm actually trying to remember. I mean, it wasn't like a forced thing. I guess coerce was the wrong word, but encouraged to try what it would be like, just because you may do that in the future.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, we did. Or I did.
We did?
Yeah, no, oh God, this is taking a terrible turn. No, I did not shave my pubes for the first time with another person.
Let's get them to shave your pubes for you.
No.
My favorite pastime is getting together and shaving our pubes by the fireplace.
So no, this story is getting way off track.
Yeah.
I shaved my pubes by myself for the first time, but that's not the point of the story.
You're going hunting, you shave your pubes.
The point of the story is the irritation after shaving there for the first time, and the itchiness.
Did you use shaving cream or anything? You just
you didn't use shaving cream?
You went straight. There's your problem right
there. I
there.
didn't know what I was doing. I was 14. What do you
Just took a dry razor.
Dry razor to your fucking private.
Come on!
Did you expect it to not hurt?
Well,
I didn't know what to happen.
No, he didn't know. It was his first time.
It's okay.
Anyways, so we go hunting, and it's in Mississippi somewhere. I can't remember, but it's like some fucking out in the middle of nowhere type shit. Beautiful. But like dirt roads, no street signs, no speed limits, like fucking bunk ass Mississippi. And we're making our way to the camp. No cell phone reception whatsoever. We're making our way to the camp, and this story's actually got a whole lot more than the pubes part of it, which I will get to. But because there's a really funny thing that happened during it. We're in a big Tahoe, right? Chevrolet, it's a big truck.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in that. We got all the gear in the back. It's fucking cold. This is important. It's like fucking 30 degrees. Cold as ball sacks. And so I've got like 3 layers on. And I'm talking like 3 layers including the crotchal area. Like underwear, like long johns, pants. Like fucking, it's cold. I guess it can be colder, but you're sitting there, you're not moving. You want to be warm. You don't want to be shaken. And so we get there, all's good. We go to bed. Wake up. My pubes are obviously no longer there, but the area was fucking killing me. So itchy, you couldn't stop. And trying to scratch your pubes through 3 layers of clothing is not. It's very difficult to satiate the fucking itch down there. It's not fun. And what I'm getting at is I was sitting in a tree stand with my brother for like 2.5 hours having to deal with this god-awful devil itch on my fucking crotch. It was terrible. It was the worst hunting experience ever. And it just happened to be the first time. And so I was like, fuck that. That was bullshit. But fast forward, as we were trying to get out, the Tahoe got wedged in the street because it was like an uphill little bit. And it was muddy, but it was cold and wet. And so it like kind of slid out and kind of got stuck. And it was like digging into the dirt. And so we had to like fucking collect a bunch of sticks and try and shove it on the tire. That didn't work. And it's cold. And we're freezing. And we can't get it stuck. But luckily there was ATVs trained up there. Because of the camp of the guy we knew. And we got the ATVs. And pulled it fucking out of the little mud patch. But yeah, I skipped a bunch of stuff. But I'm really high and I can't remember most of the story.
But you forgot, the whole time, your pubes are itching.
Okay, I want to give you boys a little example of what a little shit I was back when I was a kid. If you haven't already gleaned that from my previous stories.
You seem like such a nice guy.
I don't know. We got one last story for me. It's about the time I gave the gift of poo. So it was
gift of poo. What?
Okay, so it was my friend's birthday. This is like, it's either middle school, 8th grade or 9th grade, or maybe even, into high school, but early on in high school if it was. My friend's mom owned a video rental store when those were still happening. Little small local one, not like part of a chain or anything. Just a small rental store that was attached to the shopping center that was not far from her house. And he worked there for his mom, He would be the clerk there a lot of times. And it was his birthday, and I was like, oh man, I want to go. He wants me to go over there and hang out. I'm like, oh shit, I need to give him a birthday present. I got him this motherfucker birthday present. Shit, man. I ended up finding something legit to give him, but then I wrapped it up. It was like 2 videos or something that I had that I know he wanted. But then I had it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna prank this motherfucker. And I was like, I'm gonna play a trick on him. I just popped in my head. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shit it in a box, and I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna bring it to him. And I was like, this is my idea, and I didn't even have to shit. I didn't have to shit. I was like, oh fuck. So what happened was I go and find this little box. And my parents where my parents keep their boxes and their wrapping paper and stuff. It said something like Boston Museum of Art. It was just like a little box that you could imagine you could put some kind of trinket or something in there.
Yes.
And so I took that
turd.
and I was like, all right, time to poo. And I was in my room for some reason, and so I didn't even go to the bathroom.
No need.
And I'm squatting over this box, and I don't even really have to poo, but I was like, God damn it, I want to give him poo for his birthday. So time goes by, I'm struggling to get this turd out, and
Picture a loaf.
And finally I do get a decent amount little turd in there.
Are you kidding me?
I got it in the bottle. But what's funny is because it was a mistake doing it in my room because I was straining so hard to poo. I actually peed a little bit. So I remember some pee got on the carpet.
Oh my God! That's funny.
And so I wrapped this thing up in the Boston Museum of Art box, wrap it up with wrapping paper, and I head over and I have his actual gifts in tow as well. So just so you know.
Because I just poop.
Yeah. So I'm not the biggest asshole ever. So I get over to the store, and this is not a busy store. It wasn't busy, and maybe 1 or 2 people would come filtering in and out, but I was hanging out with them. And I was like, hey man, what's up? Got you a present. We put it on the counter at this video rental store. He's behind the counter, and he's like, oh, thanks dude, thanks. He's genuinely oh, thank you. And he unwraps it, and he sees Boston Museum of Art. He's like, huh, what? Okay. And he takes it off. He takes it off, and I'll never forget. A look of pure pure fear washed over him. He goes, oh my God. He just he was not expecting to see a big old turd. And I'm laughing. He runs out to the store and flings it outside of the store or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, just kidding. Here's some videos." So I gave him his real gift, but he was it was so funny. The expression, his reaction was worth it.
Yeah.
He was just oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus. What?
This is a quick one. This is another slingshot story.
What'd you kill now, a beaver?
No. It involves my little brother when he was 6 or 7 years old. Maybe a little older. But anyway, I had a slingshot fucking around. And I somehow convinced my little brother to let me shoot him in the back with a grape from my slingshot.
With a grape? Okay.
With a grape. And I apparently pulled back way too hard. and sing that fucking thing at his bag. And he fucking was wailing. And we have since made up. And
I would hope so, your brother.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive you for what you've done. You shot a fucking grape at my back, you bastard!
Oh man.
Yeah, I made it sound like we had a falling out. No, he's my little bro. But he didn't realize that, you know, it would hurt that bad. I guess I don't know why I even asked him to let me shoot him with the grape. But
Hey, I promise it won't hurt. It's okay. Dude, it's just a grape. Come
It
on.
won't. Okay, so there was that. So I have many times my mom has either taken, when I was younger, video games when they were T or M, because we weren't old enough to play either of those at the time. We would go on these scavenger hunts through her room trying to find these video games, and sometimes we would. And if it wasn't video games, it was marijuana paraphernalia. But there were the times where you would come across the unmentionables and want to shoot yourself in the face. If you catch my drift, the dildos!
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yikes.
What they smell like.
Did you sniff them?
Jesus, yo.
Or did you see them and were like,
That-
what the fuck?
It wasn't even actually dildos.
What
was
kind?
Like, it was like a little, what? Jesus.
A bullet? One magic bullet?
No, it was like, I don't know, some vibrator type thing. It wasn't a dildo, though.
It was like smaller?
Yeah, I guess.
How did it taste? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know, that
So
actually...
Didn't sign up for that.
that reminded
I'm
me.
just trying to find my pipe!
So you got caught? You know, you want to hear the story of when I got...
Oh, wait, yeah, I
got caught
Yeah.
smoking weed. The only time I got caught at my parents' house smoking weed. We used to we did it a lot, but we usually waited till they go to sleep and we put a towel under the door and lit incense and would smoke in the house. We had a few run-ins, like close calls in the past where I get super high, go and put a pizza in the oven and go back to the room where hanging out with brother and friends or whatever. And then my parents get home or go out in the kitchen and I'm like, oh shit, we got 5 minutes left on this pizza. I don't want to get it. Well, I don't want to get it because everyone was too stoned and too high. They didn't want to go out and retrieve this pizza in front of my parents because they thought we would get caught.
Yeah.
And so God damn it, no. And luckily finally I would go and they didn't catch on, because at that point we hadn't ever been caught really.
Yeah.
And so we get careless and they're not in bed yet, but I'm like, yeah, just put a towel on their door, open the window, I'll blow it out the window, whatever. And so they're still up and about in the house, not asleep. And we start smoking and we get really super, super high and all that. And all of a sudden I hear my dad's voice from outside the room and he says, "Hey Matt, you're stinking up the house with all that pot you're smoking." And we're and our hearts just drop and oh God, no. And that's all we hear and we're oh shit. A minute goes by and he doesn't come in or come through the door or anything and we're oh shit. And so we put everything away or whatever. And then a minute later my mom just bursts through the door and she points her finger in each of our faces and goes, "You're smoking pot, you're smoking pot, you're smoking pot, and you're smoking pot." And we're oh. We're super stoned and my one friend who thought he was really smart and tried to think fast and goes, he holds up, no, look, it's incense. It's incense. My parents don't know what weed actually smells like.
Yeah.
No, bullshit. Right away, it's they toss that around. No. And basically, she just says that. She doesn't lecture us or say anything. And then they leave the room. And they don't say anything to us. And the rest of the night, they don't punish us or do anything.
Yeah.
And then I go to sleep. I wake up the next day, go out in the kitchen. They're serving breakfast. Oh, hey, Matt. They never mentioned it again. They
Really?
just like put the fear in us, and
Yeah.
and we never got in trouble for it. We never
Yeah.
got punished. Yeah, but they were just like, but it
What
scared the shit out
fuck?
of us
Oh,
at the time.
sure.
But like,
That's pretty chill.
yeah.
You're smoking pot.
Yeah.
You're smoking,
You're smoking
pot.
pot.
You're smoking pot. We're all smoking pot.
That was Storytime with Matt, Jude, and Jeremiah on Memphis Dream Man. No, we all appreciate you guys listening. If you made it this far,
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
what
for
are some of
tuning
your
in.
stories? Post some stories in the comments.
Give us some juicy stories.
Yeah,
love to
juicy
read.
like that dildo Jude found. No, I'm sorry. Apologize for that.
It's okay, it's okay.
I would have sniffed it.
Gee
Yeah, yeah,
whiz.
give it a little sniff at least. No, I'm sorry. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, please.
This is Matt signing off.
This is Jude saying, Dr. Shade, goodbye. I mean.
And this is Jeremiah. Thank you for tuning in.